Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for my EPEW 2020 session, Steam Clean Your PE Program. Now in a second I'm going to talk about all the fantastic ways that you can incorporate STEAM concepts into your physical education program. But before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about who I am and why you should listen to me. So I'm William Potter. I'm an elementary physical education teacher at Serendipity School. I'm also an Open National Trainer, a member of the HPEC team. I was the 2019 Capert Elementary Teacher of the Year. I am also currently the 2020 Shape America National Teacher of the Year, as well as the 2020-2021 Capert President-elect. What is STEAM? STEAM is the acronym used by education to describe science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. These have also been referred to as the pillars of 21st century learning. This session is designed to help you understand what STEAM is, why it's important to education, and how it can seamlessly fit into your physical education program. Adding the interconnected disciplines of STEAM into education creates deeper and more meaningful understanding. When harnessed correctly, the pillars of STEAM develop the skills vital to innovation. These 21st century skills are the skills industry and business leaders are looking for when interviewing candidates for employment and advancement. In short, STEAM helps our students become college and career ready. As a teacher, it is our job to prepare students for a world that doesn't exist yet. Now, unless you have a crystal ball, there's no way that you can actually know or prepare your students for what is to come. What you can do, however, is prepare them for anything by teaching them the 4 C's. The 4 C's are critical thinking, which is solution-oriented problem solving, creativity, the ability to think outside of the box, collaboration, which is the social skills that allow you to work with others, and communication, how you share or convey your thoughts or ideas. So let's start with science. There are lots of ways to incorporate science curriculum into physical education, but anatomy and physiology are the obvious choice because anatomy and physiology are both an NGSS standard and are included in Standard 3 of the Shape America National Standards. 3 great ideas for incorporating anatomy into your physical education program are the Awesome Anatomy program, building working models, and using appropriate vocabulary and terminology. First, let's talk about Awesome Anatomy. This program is a series of worksheets that I've blown up to poster size. Now with my younger students, we'll discuss the names of the muscles and the bones and where you can find them in the body. With my intermediate elementary students, my 2nd and 3rd graders, we'll review the names and talk about the function and structure of each part. With my older elementary students, they'll each get their own copy of the worksheets to fill out, which is then added to their portfolios and serves as a record of what they've done over the course of the year. The building of working models began as an extra credit assignment. I would give this to my students looking to enhance or improve their grades. Now that distance learning has become a new normal, I'm adding more projects like this to my everyday curriculum. These working models and assignments like them are a great way to help students learn anatomy in a tangible and physical way. It's also great that they're using their hands rather than just their brains to absorb these concepts. Using appropriate vocabulary helps create an academic environment that helps your students succeed. Just like when you're learning a foreign language, immersion is vital to the retention and application of the language. When you use anatomical terms regularly while working with your students, you are helping them develop fluency. This fluency will in turn lead to greater understanding of the material in your class, as well as many of their future science classes. Technology is ever-changing, but coding, which is the language of technology, is the foundation on which all technology is built. Coding is becoming more and more accessible as smart devices become more prevalent both in our world and in our homes. Smart devices all function off code. We may not be writing the code, but by understanding the code, it will help us get the most out of our devices and our world. You can help the kinesthetic learners access coding concepts with activities that include if-then statements, command programming, and encryption codes. If this, then that, or IFTT statements are known as conditionals, and they are a key element to structured programming. At their core, they are a simple action and reaction statements. IFTT and movement concepts go together like peanut butter and jelly. How many times have you given instructions for a game, an activity, or a dance where you ask students, if this happens, what do you do next? That is what an if-then statement is. If-then is a game where students perform an action based on a previous action. For example, if student 1 tosses the ball, then their partner jumps. If they spin the ball, then their partner claps, and so on and so forth. You can send students to work together in pairs, one activity at a time, or you can have them create a series of codes. Command programming is direct instruction. You tell the computer to perform an action, and the computer does it. The classic maze challenge is an example of how to teach this concept to students. You instruct your students to give their counterparts specific directional commands to complete a maze. By doing this challenge with specific command codes, you can prompt and promote the technology aspects of it. And by muting or blindfolding, you can expand the challenge even further. Encryption is the method by which all information is converted into code. The Master of Life activity from OpenPhysEd uses real binary coding in an active and cooperative way. You decide on the method of transport for each group, and they use that method of transport to get to each station. At each station, the team must use binary code to solve the riddle. It's a simple replacement cipher where the binary code for that letter is replaced by that letter, therefore allowing students to read what the message says. It's a great activity that simultaneously challenges the minds and bodies of my students. Engineering actively. Engineering is a scientific field and profession that involves taking our scientific understanding of the natural world and using it to design and build things to solve problems and achieve practical goals. Engineering is such an abstract concept that there are over 40 different majors and 40 different types of engineering degrees. 3 ways that my students develop their engineering skills are the electrical circuit training activity, paper plane cornhole, and hula hut architects. I love the electrical circuit training activity. It teaches both the cardiovascular system and electrical engineering in a hands-on way while simultaneously getting my students moving through a Tabata workout. During the activity, students will complete a circuit training workout while gathering materials at each station. When they've completed the circuit, they'll have all the information and materials needed to create an electrical circuit that models the cardiovascular system. It's a little difficult to see in this picture, but the participants in this session are using snap circuits to create their model. Paper plane cornhole actively teaches students to design and create the perfect flying machine. This activity can be done individually or collaboratively as teams. And it can help students understand the trial and error process that's necessary for engineering. Adding the How Things Fly worksheet and the Design Prompt score sheet help enhance the engineering aspects of the activity. Not only is it a fantastic engineering activity, but it's a fun twist on the traditional backyard game. Hula Hut Architects is another great physical challenge that incorporates structural engineering concepts. This activity originated from ideas that J.D. Hughes, Ben Landers, and Mike Graham have presented before. Students are tasked to create sound structures that can sustain and survive different challenges. The 4 C's are definitely reinforced during this activity, and I love that the final challenge is to come up with your own challenge that brings more depth to the activity. All right, so we need to take a little bit of a brain break. So I want you to stand up, and I want you to put your hands at your side, and then real quickly I want you to take your right hand and put it on your left ear, and your left hand and put it on your nose. Now when I say go, you're going to put your hands down onto your lap or onto your knees, and then back up, but this time switch. See, it's not as easy as it looks. Switch. Switch. So go ahead and try that. Here, switch. Here, switch. Here, switch. Here, switch. And once you get the pattern going, you might be finding yourself to be pretty good. Once you get it done 5 times, shake your hands out, give yourself a wiggle, and we'll get started again. Talk about the problem-solving process that's so prevalent in STEAM. Just like the scientific method, STEAM has its own step-by-step process. The 6-step process for solving problems and creative solutions: ask, imagine, plan, create, communicate, and improve, create a circle. It starts with asking a question. What's the problem? What are the solutions? What have others done? From there, we get to imagine things. What are the possibilities? What else can be done? What is the best solution? Next, we get into our planning phase. Is the plan possible? Where should we start? What materials do we need to make this happen? Next, we get into our creative mode. Can you make a model? Can you follow the plans? Does it meet your goals? From there, we get to communicate our plan. Do we need to make changes? What do other people think? Is the problem solved? After we communicate, we take those think tank ideas and we try to improve our idea. Does it work? What will make it better? What can we do differently to make it more efficient, etc., etc.? Which brings us back to ask. Like I said earlier, the 6 steps create a cycle that is constantly revolving and evolving our technology. Like a savings account, these ideas compound to create more and improving innovation. That is why technology is able to advance so exponentially, and why our students should be well versed in STEAM concepts. Many people leave out art when referring to STEM education, and I think that's a mistake. That's why I called this session STEAM Clean Your PE program. Including creative expression into logical concepts creates a multi-dimensional approach to technology development, robotics, industrial design, engineering, and many, many more. 2 great ways to add art into your PE program are the Planet Fitness activity and the Color by Fitness activity. Planet Fitness is a thoughtful art project that can be done collaboratively or individually. Students are given a choice of artistic medium to place their favorite activities on the circle. That's their planet. They then exchange pages with another group or partner. From there, the new partner is asked to think about what that planet needs for the activities to exist on that planet. This portion of the activity is a fantastic way to subtly sneak science concepts like oxygen, carbon dioxide, H2O, gravity into your lessons. If you're worried about MVPA, don't. You can get these students to do these activities as a relay or hold a plank while they create their poster. Color by Fitness is just what it sounds like. It's a paint by numbers activity, but instead of using numbers to guide the coloring from your students, they perform a fitness activity before coloring in the artwork. If you have students working together, make sure they do all the repetitions together. If you want to do this with older students, you can simply replace the exercises with a health or skill-related component of fitness. Math. Math is much more than just keeping score. Adding math concepts to your PE program is a great way to score points with your administration and your classroom teachers. Some great ideas for this are the fitness Sudoku, penguin in the pot, and rock, paper, scissors, risk. Fitness Sudoku is a dream come true for students that love logic puzzles. It's also a great way to get students working together. I initially stole this idea of a giant Sudoku board from our 4th grade teacher. All I did was to add a fitness component to get my students sweating. Each card has a number on one side and a fitness number on a fitness activity on the back. You must perform the number of repetitions on the front of the exercise on the back in order to place that card where it goes in the puzzle. By doing this as a group, not only do you force students to work together, but you also get them moving and sweating as well. Penguin in the Pot. Penguin in the Pot is a game I had seen years ago at EPEW from Kristen Okura, and has become a long-time favorite since I brought it back to my students. Players shoot the penguin into the pot from different numbered polyspots around the play area. If they make it, they get to keep that spot and take it back to their team. If you want, you can have the students use it just as a simple scorekeeping device. That's fine. But you can vary the type of scoring options. High score, low score, odd score, even score, largest number created, smallest number created, etc., to increase or camouflage the learning. Rock, paper, scissors, risk is another game heavily influenced by J.D. Hughes. In this activity, students roll the dice, then play rock, paper, scissors to see who successfully scores that number of points. I like to use polyhedron dice to enhance the math functions. Now, the best part of this activity is that the winner will collect their points in the form of counting cubes. Each counting cube is worth 1 point. If they collect 10 counting cubes, they can trade that in for a deck ring. If they get 10 deck rings, they can trade that in for a hula hoop. This process helps reinforce the skill of regrouping, which is vitally important to 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade math concepts. And some final thoughts. The reason I include STEAM into my PE classes is because I want my students to question like a scientist, design like a technologist, build like an engineer, create like an artist, deduce like a mathematician, and probably most importantly, play like a kid. Thank you guys for catching my session today at EPEW 2020. If you need to get a hold of me, my contact information is here. And in a couple of seconds, I'm going to turn it back over to the moderators while I continue to answer questions in the chat box. Thanks guys again for coming, and I hope to see you in person real soon.
Thank you for watching this session from EPEW 2020. We're saving the next few minutes for you to ask those final questions before we log off. If you have any questions afterwards, please reach out to the presenter or send a message to EPEW through our website.
Don't forget that we have more amazing sessions going on. Head over to our website, epew-cp.weebly.com, and look for the virtual EPEW 2020 tab.
You can also access the presentations on YouTube by typing in the hashtag EPEW 2020.
We'd like to thank the amazing EPEW committee for all their hard work over this past year. This event would not have been possible without their dedication, commitment, and volunteering their time to providing high-quality professional development.
Don't forget about our other events like our socials and share times. Links can be found on our website.
Remember our motto for EPEW, come to learn, leave as family. Thank you for joining our family today.